1568, good luck. We get white for this, so knight f3 as per usual. So opponent nearly 4,000 gains of rapid and we're nearly 1200. 25 seconds out to make your first move. Goes d6. So what do we want to do against d6? Let's go c4. Probably do our normal setup, depends on what black does. Get the knight up, get the bishop on the diagonal, get castled. Plays knight up, so we will as well. Okay, advances in the centre, logical. I think I'll go e4 and try and stop that pawn from marching on further. Okay, let's go d3 then. Okay, actually I'll bring the bishop here and just castle. So we've got a number of options for our bishop, or we can try and go on this side and go this way. Yeah, b4 looks sensible. He wants to launch an attack. That's what that tells me. Do we want to trade this bishop for one of these pieces? And it might be worth doing that. Trade this bishop for one of these pieces because he wants to launch an attack here. And maybe bring the knight in and challenge another one. Okay, so get rid of that. Jump the knight in. Maybe even prepare f4. Goes with the knight, so we'll jump in and we'll challenge that knight. If takes, we'll likely take this way. He could go back, could go across. Okay, could kick us, so we take. Okay, so here I think I'm going to develop my queen just to stop the one move g5, I guess. Could do either of these to prepare it. Then we need to figure out a square where our knight's going to go. He chooses to push now, so queen up could be a move. Knight up could be a move, but doesn't achieve a lot. I think I'll take the pawn then to get rid of it. And maybe something like this, depends what our opponent does. I guess you're going to cover this for this move, so he does go with the rook. So we need to put something here, but how do we do that? How do we do that actually? Let's bring the queen up, just so I've got the option to drop the knight back and hope I'm not blundering, but there's no dark squared bishop. So I'm looking at something like this. Well, that allows us to develop the queen or the knight here with a view to bishop coming up. But knight here, I don't see what follow-up I've got, apart from coming back here. Could be useful, or couldn't it? Just as useful as this, but we've got queen up as well. And what does he do? Knight across. Actually, I prefer the knight. I'm going to play knight up with a view to jumping here. Even if he comes in, I'll probably just drop the knight back. There's no real threat to his king there, no real actual threat. Yeah, he's played knight there, so we'll drop back and just challenge that knight. If takes, obviously we can take two ways, we'll just worry about that when it's our move. So it is our move. So does it matter about the pawns? I think it's probably better going with the pawn and the queen here to open this file and try and pressure this pawn. We might need f3. Queen right down now is covered, otherwise bishop down is a threat. We might need f3, king across, that sort of idea. He's come across to attack us there, so I think I'll play rook across and pressure this pawn. I've got b3 if needed, but do I push up here? I've got queen back as well, right, just to gently pressure, but it doesn't do a lot. So I'm going to play rook up and prepare to double up and just pressure the pawn. Okay, so do that. So to attack it, to defend it. My pawn here is defended. He comes to attack us here. Right now it's protected though, so can I grab a pawn? Takes, 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 and this is covered, isn't it? So that looks like I can grab a pawn as long as there's no tactics. He's hitting this pawn, but that I don't mind. So take, 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 bishop takes, queen takes, just push a pawn up. The check is covered. This one would be loose though. So take here. I think he has to trade. It's whether we can take, rook takes in here, but then he just takes us, right? So take, take, we have to take. Bishop takes. Is there any trick? I don't think there is. It's a dangerous position, actually dangerous. So, but here, what do I do if he pushes? I think I have to go here. I think it's too dangerous to allow this with pressure coming. But now if he goes here, he's threatening a move like bishop down. I mean, right now it's covered, but it's a threat. And queen here covers this kind of. Oh, he's offered the queen trade. Well, now I think it's easier to take and grab a pawn. That must be good for us. I don't think I need to work that out too much. Whichever way he takes, we can grab a pawn. And the queen comes off, so it takes away risk. He's going to attack this pawn, but it's going to be difficult for him to guard this, and we get a tempo attacking the bishop. That could be the key if he goes with the rook. He's gone with the pawn, but now we can safely take, I think. So we attack the bishop. If he pushes here though and we take and he takes, then suddenly he's getting a new queen, so that could be problematic. But now we've got another pawn loose. So if we take the pawn, we concede this file. What do we do? I guess we have to push here. It's still dangerous. We can push this pawn. He's got rook down, save bishop up, and he can take here. So you still got to figure these things out. Might be better just pushing this pawn. It looks like a free pawn, doesn't it? But the rook's getting active. As long as I don't blunder the back rank, though, maybe here and king up, it should be fine. Yeah, let's just take the pawn and maybe f3 and king up, or h3 or h4, something like that. The rook is probably what he should be looking at, just to create the back rank threat, get the rook in somewhere. But with 2 pawns up now. Okay, he attacks us here, but we're kind of happy to play f3 anyway, and it gives our king an emergency square. It restricts our bishop. Bishop f3 feels looser. Could be a move, could be a move. Bishop f3, rook across, say I play h4, so my king's got a square. This is all nice and solid. We're trying to just march our pawn up and bring the bishop in actually, so bishop up could be a good move here. Bishop f3, rook across, say h4, rook down, and just march our pawn, bishop in. I think that's going to be good for us actually. I'm going to play this. The only thing is, what if he does this? But I think it's fine. I can go h3 or h4. So I'm going to put the bishop here. I've just got this potential back rank mate threat. I could even maybe play g3, maybe. Instinctively you'd play h4 or h3 here, just with this sort of setup. So he's gone for that now. But what about playing g3 then? Just try and get rid of this pawn, and if he takes, we just take back naturally, and we're threatening to take here, and here we can still step up and guard. But takes will take. So rook in is the natural move, but then we can maybe start pinning his bishop or just march our pawn. So we've got this. We're threatening bishop here, right? It's got to be a good push. Our king is safe, or safe-ish now. If his bishop was here, that would be a bit problematic, but it isn't. But if he goes pawn grabbing, we're threatening bishop across. Takes, takes, and that's a monster set of pawns. And I don't see how he deals with it. Now I could play rook here first, pinning the bishop, threatening to come in. So rook here, he's got to push one of these, and bishop up. Does that just win the bishop? So rook here, he can throw one check in and we're across. He can't really come back to guard. So here, what does he do? How does he stop this? I don't think he can, so I think I play rook up. I think we just got bishop in and it wins the bishop. It looks like it anyway. His best bet is probably try and get a pawn and run down the board. But it looks like we're pinning and winning the bishop here. So he's played rook across, but here, if he has to give up the rook, we'd be really, really happy. We'd be really pleased if he has to give up the rook. He might have to. Then we can just march the pawn, and that should be a simple conversion. But he can't move the bishop, it's pinned. We're threatening to take and checkmate right now. He can push a pawn, but we can still take the bishop. Yeah, so he's just realised it's now a losing position, so he's just resigned to get on with another game. Fair enough. Let's pause and just see what it was in engine speak. 31 moves, so they're the move times for both players. There's always something to learn from every game that you play. Zucator opening perk invitation. That'll bring up some puzzles to do. Yeah, +6 at the end position there, +6. So winning barring mishaps, but they do happen. It's really level. The first 21 moves, and it's turned there with just the one blunder. 95, 86 on the accuracy. Not many mistakes from either of us. Just the one blunder with queen f4 there, which allowed us to trade the queen. And then we got a winning position. Oh, I should have been playing actually an early d4 here. Okay, so challenge the center and break this solid pawn structure. That's something to learn. And still played d4 here instead of the knight forward. And now it's marginally better for black, just slightly. But it turns here, well, it's back to level, slightly better for white. So these are all okay, still completely level until you can see we get this queen f4 move. And I should have taken the pawn here instead of b3, so it was correct to actually take and allow this one to fall. So whereabouts are we here? Instead of b3 there, just take on d6. It's the only move that it gives, as you can see there. You can play it and turn the engine on, you can look at a lot of moves, but you can imagine takes, maybe bishop here, you've got queen across there as well. Indeed, bishop takes c4, then bishop up to g4, bishop takes a2, then the rook across to c6. So there's a whole long line there if you want to go through that. But then queen f4, and we calculated that we're actually able to just win a clean pawn now, and it's +4 better because we're positionally better as well. So rook takes c6 was good, and bishop f3, and g3. And here, yeah, it needs to play an immediate h5 is the best move. And then we've still got bishop to d5, pinning and winning the bishop. You can't get back to save it. You could potentially take the pawn as well, but you'd just play bishop in. That's why we've pinned the bishop there. And then opponent says, yeah, no, this one's over with, so just get on with another game. Fair enough.